Can you dig it? Can you dig it? Can you dig it?
Lifetime, featuring DJ CJ. Music of a Lifetime, the podcast that takes you back in the days and explores the best in music and music culture when things were uptight, all right, and out of sight. DJ CJ drops knowledge on the best in black, pop, jazz, dance, and house music since the 70s, baby. And you dig it. Get some. You're in the mix with DJ CJ on Music of a Lifetime.
Oh yeah, right here, 1 2, check 1 2. Blaze Street Music in the house. Back with ya. Been a minute. I'm your man DJ CJ. Welcome right here to Blaze Street Music, Music of a Lifetime podcast. Have been getting down with ya. Been a while since I've been here. I know, been a minute, been a while, but I'm back with ya. Welcome here to Blaze Street Music, Music of a Lifetime, where I take in a journey and where I play some of the best music of my lifetime. You know, this show started out with me counting down the 50th greatest albums and records of my life. You know, but somewhere along the way, I began sharing different talking points and mix sets and legacy music from some of my legacy artists and heroes, y'all. I'm also sharing with you music that I've had with me since I was a teenager, and music that I've heard and adopted and carried with me like since I joined the Navy. I joined back in 1980, stayed a little while, you know what I mean? And this music that I've loved since I began DJing in 82. Where you at? Where you at? Chill. I'm coming to you from the loveliest place on earth right here, Makaha, Oahu, Hawaii, from Blaze Street Studios, where I've been doing my thing here since 1999. But I want to know where you're coming from and where you're at. So just hit me up on my studio line, my studio number. It's area code 808-343-1943 for those of you international. So you got to use your country code. That's USA country code. Then 808-343-1943. All right. So before we get started, I always give thanks and praise to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. You know, I just want to thank you, Lord, for the love of music that you've given me and the ability to share this music and play these songs and share my love of it by talking about the artists and stuff. Something that you gave to me a long time ago in my life through my dad and through my family. So I just want to give all honor and glory and praise to you, Heavenly Father and Lord God and Jesus Christ. And thanking you for this and hoping that this music will be able to uplift those all around the world, no matter where they are, to show that you are the light. Shout out to my 808 Ohana right here, my family here in Hawaii. My beautiful wife, Doreen, right here, who's always giving me support and just supporting me, standing by me. So thank you, babe, for being with me on this musical, supporting me on this musical journey right here. I really appreciate you. And shout out to my family in the 336 and to the 704, all over the place. My family back there in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Everybody back home and all over the place. You know, you guys have been supporting my musical journey. These are my DJ brotherhood. You know, you guys have been supporting my journey too, my DJ brothers. Also, I call them the DJ Bs. Y'all know who y'all are, for real. So thanks to y'all and everybody with that. So like I said, it's been a minute and I've, you know, kind of been going through some other things. But it's nothing that's just crazy. It's just when I do my podcast, I always want to be able to tell a story and also wanting to be able to kind of share some things with you especially those of you who are of my old school generation, but I also want to try to give some things to the new folks too. So I'll have some more podcasts coming up here real soon. It's coming in the May summertime, and to me, that's the summertime is the right time, because that's kind of like when I push things up, get a little bit more up tempo. I got a Prince mix set coming. I was supposed to do it for his anniversary of his passing, but I fell off and got involved in some other things. So, but I got that coming. I got some more house music coming for you. I'm going to be doing something called Give the Drummer Some, where I'm going to be talking about music from some of my favorite drummers and rhythmists and percussionists, but I also try to share how rhythm is really entwined into the music that we listen to now. Rhythm is very important. So just to give you a little background on that, something kind of new, something kind of different. So I'll be doing it with you. So here we are, right here, right now. I think this is episode number 43. I've been trying to keep track of my episodes. And thank you everyone out there who's been listening to me overseas. Everybody, people have been hollering at me, saying hello and things like that. So thank all of you. All right, so I remember when all of this started for me in 2017. And like I said, when I started out, I wanted to share with you, music fans and the like, what I call was the 50th greatest records and albums of my lifetime. So what a concept, huh? Well, in this episode, I'm going to be doing several different things now. Okay, so firstly, I'm sharing the music of two great musicians and icons for me. All right. And that's the music of Joe Sample and George Duke. Now, this is Joe Sample's episode. Joe Sample's Spellbound LP, which was released in 1989, is the number 9 release on my top 50. Can you believe that? It's number 9. Hard to believe, huh? Of all the ones that I have, you know, Joe Sample is number 9, and I'm gonna tell you why as we get into what I'm talking about here. So, yes, I'll be playing music from Joe Sample and George Duke, because George Duke produced some songs that's also going to be featured on here, which will be some songs from an LP called Sample This, I'm sorry. It's called Sample This, in which George Duke and Joe Sample went back and redid some of his songs and just redid them. And it was really awesome. I'll be giving you a few songs from Joe Sample when he was a member of the jazz group, the Crusaders, you know, who were definitely one of the most memorable jazz soul groups from the 70s and 80s. And lastly, I'll be giving you some songs from one of my favorite all-time greats, Mr. George Duke. Now, it just so happens that I'm queuing up an episode for Mr. Duke, George Duke. Very soon, it'll be either episode number 44 or 45. So I'm going to be doing George Duke also. And then I'll be getting off into, like I said, Prince. I got some Public Enemy, LL Cool J coming up. I got a lot of good stuff. So just to let you know about that. All right. Let me cue something up here so I can finish getting on this for you. Yep, same song, just gonna track it back again so I can get these opening notes out for you real quick. All right, so now what I'm doing with George Duke is something unique and interesting. Like I said, I'm playing George Duke and Joe Sample because it was Duke who produced Sample's 1997 LP, Sample This. I mentioned that already. And you know what makes it special is all the songs on Sample This, which were songs that Joe Sample had previously recorded. So what George Duke and Joe Sample, what did they do? They got an all-star roster of musicians and they redid those songs, hence the title Sample This. And we know as DJs and producers, what sampling means is basically you're recreating something that's already been done. So in my opinion, this album is one of the best that both George Duke and Joe Sample ever did, because each musician is a keyboardist, pianist, and their chops and musicians on these tracks are really extraordinary. And they also have some great musicians. Now, you can find on the internet a lot of information about these artists. Please just do a Google search, Joe Sample, Spellbound, Joe Sample, sample this. You can go to Discogs. They have an excellent website that details a lot of thousands and thousands and thousands of albums and records. And Discogs is an absolute amazing place to get music from. I get a lot of music from there myself, a lot of vinyl. So I'm shouting out Discogs right here, letting you guys know to check them out, please. And you can also go to a website called All Music. It's like a database of different music, and they tell you where you can listen to it at. Spotify has Spotify and Amazon, Apple, also great places to find out new music. So, okay, so what about Spellbound? Wow, Spellbound, 1989. Okay, so this album came out just when I got to California. I left Maryland, and I got signed to a duty station located about 45 minutes north of San Francisco, and it was called Skaggs Island, NSGA Skaggs Island, and I was there from 1989 to 1993, and by the time we got there, we were fortunate enough to live in a new housing area at an Air Force base called Hamilton Air Force Base, which was just an air base. It wasn't really Air Force Base, it was just an air base. But it was located in Novato, California, Marin County. And little would I know, but my tour there in Marin County was going to be very magical. Man. But you want to hear something funny? I didn't find out until maybe a few months after I got there that George Duke is from San Rafael, California, which is in Marin County. Now, Novato and San Rafael off the 101 North are about 10 minutes apart in Marin County, and I didn't know that. And when I found out that George Duke was from San Rafael, I was driving around, jumped in my car, and I was driving around San Rafael acting like I'm going to find out what George Duke's house was. It was just like some crazy stuff. But anyway, so, that time of my life is a, bittersweet memory for me because of the things that went down, with me personally, but through it all, this music is and always will be special to me. So I had got Joe Sample's CD from the Bass Exchange because I knew his music from previous stuff, what he did with the Crusaders. So honestly, I hadn't really gotten off into George Duke as a solo artist at that time, but I did get a CD. So little did I know that this CD was going to stay with me since then, because the music on here is wow. It was so special to me. Each song was just something that I'll just never forget. But that's why it's a part of me, because as I've said in the past, the thing about music is like it kind of grabs you at a certain part of your life. And for some of us, there's like, you got those club songs and banging club songs. But I think for a lot of us really, really old school, true school DJs, there's just stuff that we really resonate with us. And you could too, even if though you're not a DJ, it doesn't matter. It's not just for DJs. It's for everybody. So like I say, I just always want to share something with you about the music and why it's so special to me. And this is what my podcast is all about. It's the music of a lifetime and of my lifetime. And so I'm just really, really blessed to share this music with you. And I really appreciate you listening to it with me, because it's not only my lifetime, but it's going to be your lifetime as well. So I'm hoping that you're going to enjoy this episode. Like I said, this is going to be celebrating my number 9 release, which is number 9 out of my top 50. It's Joe Sample's Spellbound that came out, that was released in 1989, but it's going to feature some stuff from 1997 as well, just a kind of cornucopia of different stuff. So this is Blaze Street Music. I'm your man, DJ CJ's Music of a Lifetime, and I'm going to be featuring entry number 9 on my list again, as I said. And as we go, I'll just try to drop some nuggets for you about the songs, like what it is, the name of it, and who it was produced by, and things like that. So here we go. All right, so we're going to get started right here. The first song. This song is called Fly on the Wings of Love. So you listen to the 1997 version. This is from the Sample This LP that George Duke produced. But actually the original came out from Joe Sample's 1978 release, which was called Rainbow Seeker. And as I mentioned before, Joe Sample was, along with Wilton Felder, Stix Hooper, were part of the jazz group, the Crusaders. And once again, a lot of great music there between the Crusaders. And I'm going to be playing a couple of those songs here in a little bit. But Joe Sample's originally from Houston, Texas, from back in the day, and outstanding musician who basically just, I don't know if he ever really achieved a high level of success that some of us feel like he should have, but to me, in the jazz world and in that world of like what they call soft R&B or whatever, maybe even yacht rock, but I think he's definitely one of those artists. So again, Fly with the Wings of Love from 1997, Sample This LP, which was again produced by George Duke. So let's get off into this one right here. It's called In My Wildest Dreams. So in 1995, a very, very prominent hip hop artist named Tupac did a song called Dear Mama, and he sampled Joe Sample's song right here, In All My Wildest Dreams, which was again from the Rainbow Seeker release from 1978. But this interpretation that you're hearing right now was the one that was done between George Duke and Joe Sample in 1997. Sample this. See, it's like, wow, man. You know, and I'll never forget when I got that Sample This CD, because when I picked it up and looked at it, I was kind of, and I was like, these are songs that he's done, but I had no idea when I got it of the magnitude of the music, how George Duke and Joe Sample reinterpreted those songs. So again, Joe Sample and All My Wildest Dreams from 1978 to 1997. That's how we're going to look at it. We're going to say that's how the bridge was that bridge was built. This one is actually from George Duke. It's called Mystery Eyes from his LP Night After Night. Night After Night was released in 1989, again the same year that George Duke's Spellbound came out. Cool, huh? All right, let's get off into another song off of this same LP. What you say? This one's called Say Hello. I remember when I went and got this CD from the Bass Exchange also. Man, I put that thing in my CD player and I must have played it every day for like 2 months. George Duke from 1989, his LP entitled Night After Night. Again, George Duke is on my Mount Rushmore. You know, Mount Rushmore has, 4 faces on it, but mine has maybe 7, 8 different artists on top of it. So, all right, so I'm finna get off into a couple of songs from the Crusaders again, and I just want to give you a quick blurb about who the Crusaders were. So the Crusaders originally started out as the Jazz Crusaders back in 1960, the group out of Houston, Texas. And the primary members of that group were Wilton Felder, Joe Sample, Sticks Hooper, and Wayne Henderson. Now, The Crusaders, who would end up going into the 70s, basically specifically into the releases that I have coming up, which were released in 1976 and 1979. I'm going to play a song for you called Keep That Same Old Feeling, which was off of their LP called The Southern Nights. And then I'm going to go into Street Life, which is one of my favorite songs of all time, period, which was released in 1979, which features the incomparable Randy Crawford. So during that time frame, the Crusaders were probably in their heyday, and that group consisted mainly of Wilton Felder, Stix Hooper, and Joe Sample, with Joe Sample playing the keyboards, piano, things like that. Wilton Felder was the saxophonist, and Stix Hooper was the drummer, the percussionist. So just a couple of other artists that were also featured on their albums from the past. I mentioned Wayne Henderson, the late Wayne Henderson already, but some others were such as Robert Popwell, Hubert Laws, and Larry Carlton. So again, to all my cats out there who are into the music, go ahead and do some discography searches on the Crusaders and Joe Sample. You're going to find a lot of that stuff out there for them. So let's get off into this release right here. Keep That Same Old Feeling from 1976. All right, 1976, the Crusaders from their LP, The Southern Nights. Keep that same old feeling. I also want to mention that Wilton Felder played the bass too, so he played saxophone and he also played bass. All right, so the next song is Street Life. The Crusaders did this song in 1979, but it wasn't really for me until 1982. No, I'm sorry, 1995. Now, I'd heard the song, I had the album, and I really, really liked it, and I felt like it was something that I liked. But for some reason, my ship went on deployment in 1995, 1996, and we actually pulled into Singapore twice during that cruise, and I had learned back in 1982 when I first went to Singapore about how the bazaars are over there. When I say bazaar, it's a place where they shop. And you kind of can get a lot of good deals. Whether true or false, I won't confirm nor deny whether Singapore was a big place to get counterfeit goods, meaning watches and jewelry and stuff like that. Music. But I can tell you that I have a lot of music from my collection, more so back then than more so now. Cassettes at first from 1982 that I was getting for like pennies on the dollar, whereas in the US they were selling for some exorbitant prices. But what's the point of my story? The point is like there are places around the world where you can find music at very cheap prices, very good music, and you can find places around the world where you can find good music at good prices, and it's of higher quality. Like in Japan, for instance. The way the Japanese do their recordings is outstanding, and they actually take a lot of master tapes from different record labels in the US, and they've produced some outstanding LPs and CDs. So Street Life 1995, was out hanging out in Singapore, looking around, found one of my favorite places to buy CDs at, and I came across a Best of Crusaders CD, and for some reason or another, that song just rebirthed itself in me. So I'm going to play it for you here. Street Life, Crusaders featuring Randy Crawford. You got to check it out.
I play the street life because there's no place I can go. Street life, it's the only life I know. Street life, and there's 1,000 parts to play. Street life, until you play your life away. You let the people see just who you wanna be, and every night you shine just like a superstar. That's how the life is played, a ten-cent masquerade. You dress, you walk, you talk, you're who you think you are. Street life, you can run away from time. Street life, for a nickel or a dime. Street life, but you better not get old. Street life, or you're gonna feel the cold. There's always love for sale, a grown-up fairy tale. Prince Charming always smiles behind a silver spoon. And if you keep it young, your song is always sung. Your love will pay your way beneath the silver moon. Street life, street life, street life, oh, street life. I play the street life because there's no place I can go. Street life, it's the only life I know. Street life, there's 1,000 parts to play. Street life, until you play your life away. Oh! you better not get old. Street life, or you're gonna feel the cold. There's always love for sale, a grown-up fairy tale. Prince Charming always smiles behind a silver spoon. And if you keep it young, your song is always sung. Your love will pay your way beneath the silver moon. Street life, street life.
I mean, you really need to listen to the words that she's saying. And if you keep it young, your song will always be sung. I mean, outstanding track. And Randy Crawford went on to have and still has a great career of her own. Check out some of her music too. Beautiful, beautiful vocalist. Like I said, one of my favorite songs, this is kind of like, I have songs that I have too. This is one of my favorite songs of all time. So right now, next is I got a song called Night Flight, which was from Joe Sample's 1983 LP. However, redone in 1997 under Sample This between Joe Sample and George Duke. Check this one out. I would be very remiss if I didn't give you some of the personnel who played on this LP. And if you're old head like me, jazz, you'll really appreciate it. Okay, so on that track right there, which is called Night Flight, I got a cat named Lenny Castro on the drums and percussion. On electric guitar, we got Dean Parks. And on bass, we got Jay Anderson. Here's some other individuals on this album. Marcus Miller, Steve Gadd. You know who they are? Yeah, I think you know who they are. For the most part, George Duke assembled some really excellent session musicians as well as musicians of their own when he did this album. And he also had Diane Reeves singing on the track called I'm Coming Back Again, which I don't have on this set. But again, this was from 1997's Sample This, in which George Duke and Joe Sample went back and redid some of Joe Sample stuff. So this track coming up next is called Melodies of Love. It's going to be the last one before I go into my tribute to Spellbound. So thanks for hanging out with me. It's like every time I hear that song too, I just get lost in how I mean his virtuoso was excellent. You know, like I said, Joe Sample, one of my favorite keyboardists. I'm not sure if he really got a lot of credit for the things that he did because I mean he was just an outstanding musician. Spellbound, 1989. Like I said, picked it up at the not the Navy Exchange, but the Base Exchange because I was not on a Navy base. But you know what I'm saying. Picked it up, just listened to it all the time, and over time since then, it's become one of my favorite LPs. It's number 9 in my list of because for me the music just resonates. Each song, I like every single song on this LP. I'm not going to play every song for you, but I like every song because there's 10 songs on the album. And I want to give you a quick rundown on who is on it. You know, we have people such as John Robinson and Omar Hakim playing drums. We have Michael Landau on the guitar singing on some vocals. Check this out on this LP. Al Jarreau and Michael Franks. Wow. Oh man, Lenny Castro. The album was produced by Tommy LaPuma, who was one of the great producers back in those days. Lenny Castro on percussion, Larry Williams on synthesizer programming and things like that. And we got the horns, which was raised by the horns were arranged by Jerry Hay. If you don't know who Jerry Hay is of the C1 horn section, then I'm sure you probably need to just check some things out. But we have a song on here also called U-Turn, and I'm going to play it for you. But Take Six is on that song. So Take Six, the outstanding vocal group from back in the 80s and 90s, did a song on here with Joe Sample, and you're going to hear it. So without a doubt, the songs that off of this LP that I'm going to play for you, I mean, outstanding stuff. And it was this album was put into the genre of jazz, but you could say it may be smooth jazz, which was probably coming out during that time. Yeah, it definitely was. You could say something about pop or maybe even R&B. But once again, I'm going to be playing all the tracks remaining in the set are from Spellbound, Joe Sample from 1989. My tribute to Joe Sample, who is number 9 on my list with Spellbound. This was 7 years of good luck, y'all. Check it out. You know, we lost Mr. Sample in 2014. He was on my bucket list to see, but I didn't get a chance to see him. However, his music is always in my life. Next track is U-Turn from Joe Sample featuring Take 6. We got Omar Hakeem on the drum track. And also on this past drum track, we had John J.R. Robinson, who played with Michael Jackson most famously. All-star cast of musicians on this LP. If you're into that kind of stuff like me, check this one out. You know, before there was Pentatonics, the a cappella group that you hear all the time, who sang all the great Christmas songs, things like that. There was Take 6, who hit the scene pretty much as a somewhat, I guess for lack of a better term, gospel. They were singing spiritual music, gospel music, Christian music, and they share their talents with, of course, with the other parts of the music world. This is one of their best songs, by the way, written by them, sung by them. Outstanding record. I got my man Omar Hakeem on the drums, and I got Nathan East on the bass with that. So this one next here is called Sermonize. Check it out. Check it out. Check this one out right here. It's called Luna in New York.
Oh
Okay, that song right there was written by a guy named Ruben Blades. You may know him as a famous actor on stuff like The Walking Dead, one of the Predator movies and things like that. Ruben is a musician and vocalist in his own right. He's worked with Sting in the past. And here he is with Joe Sample. All right, so I'm going to have Somehow Our Love Survives with Al Jarreau coming up next, and then I'm going to finish out the set with Spellbound. Once again, Blaze Strip Music right here, thanking you for hanging out with me. My tribute to Joe Sample, Spellbound, with a little bit of mixture of the Crusaders, as well as George Duke, all in the set. Want to wish you guys love, peace, and soul. In the meantime, in between time, take care of yourselves. Wish you all the blessings from your higher power.
Circumstance divides us, I always close my eyes. My thoughts retrace the image of your face. Somehow our love survives. Now we're in our prime, and as once upon a time, paper lanterns hanging in the trees. The photograph is framed, but the feeling's still the same. I am there for you, and you're always there for me. After the hero stumbles, after the lady cries, after the fortress tumbles, somehow our love survives. We touch each other, the chemistry revives. Each kiss contains an energy exchange. Somehow our love survives. Now we're in our prime, and it's once upon a time. Paper lanterns hanging in the trees. The photograph is framed, but the feeling's still the same. I am there for you, and you are always there for me. After the hero stumbles, after the lady cries, after the fortress tumbles, somehow our love survives.
podcast that takes you back in the days and explores the best in music and music culture when things were uptight, alright, and out of sight. DJ CJ drops knowledge on the best in black, pop, jazz, dance, and house music since the 70s, baby. And you dig it? Get some. You're in the mix with DJ CJ on Music of a Lifetime.